Just adding that.
Who are like on the cusp of elite, but not really. They haven't really entered that top.
The problem with this is
like,
it's not as hot a take, is it? When we just had a season where one team won everything, and then I guess in theory, because you included PGLs, that makes it slightly spicier. But like, if Vitality is the best ever and they win everything anyway, it won't matter how good Falcons is. Like, you could still lose. Like, that can happen if you're the second or third best team. With that said, though, and also that I'll add in, it's really hard to win tournaments. It's not even about, by the way, being like, doesn't Mouse Sports show? It's not even about being really good. Like, sometimes people don't know. I think Mouse Sports has like the highest average placing aside from Vitality in the whole year, because they're like always top 4 guaranteed no matter what. So, but to actually win is really fucking hard. So, like, obviously I would never say they're a favourite to win an event, but I don't, the idea they won't win any, especially the PGL one's too far for me, mate. If you said it in like major events where you might have to play like Vitality in a BO5, okay, but the idea that you can't win a PGL, like, bro, the fucking Astralis was in one of those finals with Huxley, like, you know what I mean? Like, we've had some dodgy ass PGL semi-finalists and finalists, so that one I don't know about that. I would have just kept it to like S-tier ESL event type, blast type major events, not bounty. If you kept it to the legit ones, maybe, but even then I think the problem is a lot of the sort of weight of this argument is that Vitality does exist, and almost certainly I think will bounce back. Like, the biggest joke of all of that was, like, if someone like Ziwu actually plays shit for his level and then Flames gets 1 kill on a map, yeah, everyone can lose, mate. Like, that's not actually that crazy when you look at it. So I don't know, I'm sort of in the middle on this one, because I still do think I tell you what, I won't do the whole side rack because we haven't got time for it, but if anyone watches the recent Feed the Trolls episode that was about like all these rookie players, and we obviously talk about Kiyosuke and Falcons, I did make a point that I am kind of bored of people ignoring, which is how can all of it only be Zonic's fault? I don't get it. Like, Nico is playing the shittest like 3 months of his entire career so far, right? By the way, I'm sorry, does everyone not praise Nico for making calls and having autonomy in the game? Then Monacy, everyone praises him as an AWPer for being an AWPer. You don't tell what to do, he's not a system AWPer, he goes and does what he wants. And then you've added Keisuke, who was a guy who just had the whole game built around him and did whatever he wanted seemingly in Spirit of Cat. Don't all these players just freelance? Like, how much freelancing do you get before like you can't blame the coach? Like, at the end of the day, if I took all these players and put them in a system and took away all their agency, wouldn't everyone say I'm doing a bad job, coach? Like, I don't actually know at this point how you win if you're Zonic on this one. You just have to win in the server, that's it. And even then, everyone will just say you spent 20 million. So at this point, it's fucking joking it. So I think the problem with this team really right now is this is why it's actually a good hot take overall, because I do think the difference is the stakes are enormous. Like, who knows how, but if they can make it work with the players in this team, they could win every tournament bit. That's why it's actually a good hot take. It's just the question is, if you don't believe they can ever be a functional team, then yeah, they won't win any tournaments. That's the amazing thing about CS, right? We have had super teams where they look fucking amazing on paper, but they don't actually win in the server to the degree you expect. So I don't hate it.
The thing is, like, just to add, like, to your point about Zonic, right? I don't blame only Zonic. I targeted him and Lars because of, like, 18 months, 20 months, and all these players and blah, 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 whatever, right? But there is also a responsibility for other players. Yeah, I'll give you an example of, like, let's say Tessis, right? As good as he is, and, you know, his anchor spot, like, there are rounds on Dust 2 where he misses the top mid smoke, the door smoke for Dust 2, right? That directly kills Kixan, who was crossing middle, and he dies to an AWP, right? And it kills the round immediately. They had to scramble. Like, those things, you cannot blame Zonic for that, right? He probably had an idea what round needs to be done. The round would probably be a little bit better, or maybe a better chance to win, but then you have the guy who is paid, what, $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, allow him to miss the smoke and kill, and his teammates gets killed because of it. The thing that I blame in-game Zonic for is probably the end of the rounds, like the structure of the rounds. Like, I don't see any depth, I don't see any tactical, like, thinking in those rounds, like his Ibit Spirit, even by Vitality, who relies more on individualistic skills, but they have a lot of structure, and not to mention Mouse and other teams. Overall, it's not only
here's
Sonic,
what's
right?
funny.
It has responsibility on different teams too.
What might shock you, Kasad, is it's only the Kiyosuke move that actually removes my sympathy for Falcons. You know what? When Zonic recruits that player, Kasad, I have no sympathy for him, because you know what? If you recruit that player and it turns out Nico doesn't work, then you should have kicked Nico and recruited him. Otherwise, stick with Nico.
I said it on my
because I think the dumbest thing about this move is you are the one with infinite money. So no one and forced you to recruit another aggressive rifler like Nico. You could have taken the best anchors in the world, literally, to make a list and go from 1 to 5 and offer them all $3 million. You will have the next player that you want.
Anyone.
And tomorrow that team works. So I don't know why you've chosen to create. That's why I said on a past one that actually this is what will win Zonic his reputation back. If this team works, he has reinvented Counter-Strike in a way we don't understand with how the roles work. But then also the other reason I think that I have no sympathy for him is the comment that everyone else takes as no big deal out of that boot camp with no PCs. I don't give a fuck whether there was a PC there. What I care about is that everyone's fine with that comment where Kiyosuke said, I understood about 30% of what people were saying to me. In a fucking English language team, you have recruited for millions of dollars a player who doesn't speak colloquial English to an English language team, and now you're going to tell me, you won't believe it, Thorin, we've got like role overlaps and we can't understand each other and get tactical. Well, I wonder why! What are you doing? And by the way, the reason this kills me is because, in theory, Nico was involved with this decision. That's what we're supposed to believe, right? Here's one of the people who said, yeah, get this guy. Right? The reason why that sucks is because Yanko told me years ago in an interview, a comment by Nico I've referenced many times, which is he said that one of the things Nico and people like that learned from being in FaZe Clan is that the right call 1 second late becomes the wrong call. Right? How about the right call that can't even be understood by someone else? That is always the wrong call. Like, that is so... That detail, by the way, look, it hasn't like decided the fate of the team yet. Maybe he exaggerated it, but that was I found that comment really alarming because I then thought back on it the second they bombed this tournament. I was like, well, no wonder you just play like headless chickens who don't know fucking style of play. Like, by the way, what you see even is an amazing Nico mid-round call if I don't understand what it means and how I can't immediately act on it. Like, you've just taken away all of the power of the team. So that's why, in a weird way, in that sense, I don't have as much sympathy. I think essentially that's the ultimate gamble, Kassan. You either are going to show, like, basically, like, I am the greatest of all time, I can do things you can't even imagine with the game, or I have just done like one of the